Justin Jefferson, he finally speaks out. And Justin Jefferson says, I definitely feel like we would have done better with Sam Darnold. Justin Jefferson is heartbroken watching his boy go to the Super Bowl and it's not his team. Shame on the Minnesota Vikings. Everyone knows the difficulty of playing the quarterback position this year. How we were dealt it, Jefferson said. But having a quarterback that already had a season under his belt with us, knew the plays, knew the playbook, knew the players, throwing to me, Jordan Edison, TJ Hawkinson, all these guys, I definitely feel like we would have done better. But it is what it is. It's on to newer and better things. But I'm definitely happy and proud of him that he's able to reach it this year. Jefferson said he has mixed emotions seeing Darnold's success. It's definitely tough. It's tough to watch, Jefferson said. I love that he's in the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I want nothing but the best for him, especially the way his journey was at first. People doubting him and people not giving him the respect. Now they're giving him the respect. Now they're seeing that he's a top-tier quarterback in this league. Of course, selfishly, I wish he had done that for us last year. But to see him blossom and bounce back right after last year and make it this year, I'm happy for him. And I hope he wins. I'm rooting for Seattle, and I think Seattle's going to win. I'm rooting for him. Listen, man, that's a lot of hurt. And what if? What if? In Justin Jefferson's voice, man, it's a tough deal, man. As you can see, that situation, and it's only right that someone loses their job and someone is fired after letting a quarterback go and he goes to another team and win a Super Bowl. That has to be the biggest slap in the face you can ever possibly do as an organization. Mm-hmm. And look up the general manager name for the Minnesota Vikings real quick for me. Brother too, man. They was just speaking about him and saying he went on a 2-week maternal leave, and you don't know what to believe anything in these days anymore. You know, they said he didn't really he wasn't into it when it was time to negotiate his contract. He wasn't getting back to him fast enough. At the end of the day, Sam Darnold's going to the Super Bowl. He was just on our team. We elected not to re-sign him and let him walk and bring in a shorter, unachieved, not as athletic, not strong of an arm quarterback.
Whoa. He got fired.
Yes, you didn't know that? What's his name?
Kesway Adolfo-Mensah.
Yeah, Kesway Adolfo. I don't know what they call him, but the brother of the Minnesota Vikings, for the GM from the Minnesota Vikings. If you didn't understand that, you didn't know. If you was under a rock. But he is fired.
Yeah.
So things are shaking up in Minnesota because it's only right. It's only right. You can't do this in football. When it's time to trade a player, they have coaches and general managers have specific teams and specific instructions when it's time to trade a player. They don't want to trade a player in the same conference. They don't want to trade a player in the same division. They are really reluctant to trade a player to a team that is good because they don't want to make a team better, you know? That's not your job as a general manager in the NFL, you know? But that decision not to resign Sam Darnold will hunt the Vikings for a while because Seattle will be good and they will be a good team for years to come under this new leadership. Seattle is getting better from the first season under Mike McDonald to the second season. They started off 10-7, and this year, they ended the season 14-3 or something like that. And has anyone thought about this? Who was Seattle Seahawks quarterback last season? Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle probably would have won the Super Bowl or been in the Super Bowl last season if Sam Darnold was there and not Geno Smith. Geno Smith went 10-7 last season under Mike McDonald at quarter and when he was at quarterback. Just imagine if Sam Darnold was there last season. We can guarantee he would have played much, much better than Geno Smith did last season. And shoot, it's definitely a good possibility.
Is Sam Darnold in his prime right now? Is he going up from here? How long does this good play from Sam Darnold continue?
That is a great question. I think he's right there. Yes, he's in his prime. He's still young enough to get it done. He still has the fast twitch muscles, the arm strength, the agility and things like that. Just the know-how to get it done. But I can see his success being a short time lived. I can see him not being so successful for the next 5, 6, 7 years. I think another 2 to 3 years, Sam Darnold, I don't know, he goes back into that shell who he once was when he first came out in the NFL. But something has clicked into him, since he was there last season for the Minnesota Vikings compared to when he was drafted to the Jets and all these other teams that he was at. You know what I mean? So I think that's a great question, and that's going to be something we have to wait and see. But they're going to invest a lot of money into him. They're going to lock him up, give him a big contract, and that can possibly go to his head. But I don't see him being that type of player. So I think he'll have another 3 to 4 years playing elite football, and then you'll see Sam Darnold start to backtrack, go down a little bit. You know what I mean?
They'll be a playoff team for the next few years.
Yeah,
with Sam Darnold at the helm.
Yeah, for sure. With Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker, man, the team is stacked. Man, the team is built. They have a great offensive line, a great defensive line, and everything comes together very well for the Seattle Seahawks. Just Sam Darnold. He has to continue to elevate that team, and that's the only thing that needs to happen for them to win. You know what I mean? But Justin Jefferson, let me tell you, man, the glory days for Justin Jefferson are over. I know if you're a Justin Jefferson fan and, guys like Randy Moss saying he's the best in the league, those glory days are over. Justin Jefferson will never get back to the days where he had 1,500 yards receiving, 1,800 yards. Unfortunately, Justin Jefferson's career will go down from here. He either will be released or traded by 2028 when his contract expires. Mark my word, Justin Jefferson will either be released or traded by 2028. And it's not because of his abilities diminishing or anything like that, but because of the decision to make J.J. McCarthy the starting quarterback instead of Sam McDonald. See, it's a trickle-down effect when you make such a horrible decision like the Minnesota Vikings did with J.J. McCarthy. It's a horrible decision, and it's a trickle-down effect. They have to deal with J.J. McCarthy for 2 to 3 more years because he's a first-round pick, and that is going to substantially hurt this team along as well as Justin Jefferson. I don't think Justin Jefferson's future in Minnesota will be terrible or terribly bad or anything like that. I just think Justin Jefferson will end up being very average.
I think what makes it worse is the success of Sam Darnold, and he was there before. Like, I feel like if Sam Darnold went over to Seahawks and had a terrible season, they nowhere near the playoffs, it wouldn't affect Justin Jefferson as much. But for him, this person to be in the Super Bowl is like, it's frustrating. And then having a frustrating season, he probably played with 4 or 5 different quarterbacks this year, and it was just a whole mess. And it's going to keep on getting more and more frustrating. So it's like, man, I'm done with this organization. I want to get out of here. So you might be 100% right there.
Yeah, and you got to realize some players just play the game. Some people or some players out there to collect the check. Some players just love to be a part of an organization or a brotherhood, something like that, right? Then you have the guys that love to win, the guys that want to win as bad as anything in the world. And that can possibly be a Justin Jefferson. And for him, like when I played Rodney Harrison, I mean, he wanted to win as bad as anyone. Tom Brady, of course, he wanted to win as much as anyone I've ever been around. You know what I mean? But if Justin Jefferson is that type of player and he's dealing with those mental thoughts, that is really going to affect him on the field, off the field, and all around. If he really is bothered about this possibly not being him in the Super Bowl, or him not being in the Super Bowl because of Sam Darnold not being on this team, this can really drag him down mentally. And like I said, all of these factor in of players declining while they're in their prime. It's just because it's habits, it's nature, it's life. People go through things, life be lifing,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he's going to be very average. He may reach 1,000 yards again. He may have 1,000 yards a season, but that's not enticing to a guy like Justin Jefferson, who's used to having 1,500, 18 yards receiving, plus 17 regular season games is coming into play. I mean, you're playing 17 regular season games. Now it's headed to 18 regular season games. So just getting over 1,000 yards, that's not enticing anymore. At least 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
1,200 is the new 1,000-yard receivers in the NFL. That, it ain't 1,000 yards anymore. You have to get 1,200 to get some credit and get some shine and get some hype. Talk to me.
No, yeah, I remember this year they was like forcing him the ball in the last game so he could get over 1,000 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He almost didn't get it, honestly.
He barely got 1,000 yards this season, and he played all of 17 games this season. Imagine that. Justin Jefferson had 1,048 yards this season, was healthy pretty much all of the season, and played 17 games and only got 1,000 yards. That's why I'm saying Justin Jefferson's career is going downhill from here. There is no fix. There is no solution. We made a bad decision that we have to live with, unless the owner, the general manager, someone comes out and say, we can make a change. But that ain't how it goes in the NFL for first round picks. They get a minimum of 2.5, 3 years to see what they can do,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Justin Jefferson has to bite the bullet on this one, man.